Let me wake you up. I heard it was a long evening yesterday, lots of content and interesting talks. So I would like to start with a short story about guys like this one, the one that you see. It's actually the founding story of our company. My co-founder and I, we met 12 years ago at the Artificial Intelligence Laboratory in Zurich, working for Professor Pfeiffer, one of the most renowned professor in robotics back at the time. I have a background in computer science, was specializing on AI. My co-founder was specialized in biology. And we believe back in the days with this combination of knowledge, we know everything we need to know to build a guy like this. And it took us maybe 2 hours, 3 hours a day to learn and understand that we don't know anything about the world and that we should have learned everything from chemistry to physics to material science to computer linguistics and so on to be able to autonomously work on a complex system like the guy on the picture. So that was the original pain we felt when we started to think about how we can solve that. How can we stop researching everything on our own, start getting experts in any topic we need to be experts on to build a robot, and said, let's build something much more efficient. Let's build an eBay for knowledge. Let's create a platform where we can ask any question, and the question should autonomously find the right scientists anywhere in the world who is really specialized in that one topic where we need an answer to. That's how we started with Starmind. Didn't really work out because we had 12,000 scientists on the platform, everyone eager to earn some money by solving tricky questions, but the problem was no one really wanted to pay for it. So we have almost given up in 2013 when the CIO of a large Swiss bank approached us and said, I actually like the idea and I have the very same problem. I know that for every single problem I face, there would be someone within the organization who could help me solve it or has probably solved it before, but I have no chance to find that person without putting a huge effort into the search. Now, fast forward 12 years, Starmind is now really focusing on finding the right knowledge, the right expertise within organizations, not in the science world, but we have lots of organizations like Novartis, Bayer, and so on, with big R&D organizations that actually use Starmind. Pretty close to how we originally thought that Starmind should be used. So, who has heard that that sentence? Have you already opened a ticket? Yeah, lots. If you get a dollar or a euro for every time you hear that, you'll probably all be rich. But that's actually what we constantly hear when we try to find something within the organization, don't find it. So just open up a ticket. It will be resolved. So 80% of all the tickets within large organizations that are being created are standard repeatable tickets, standard repeatable questions. So we ask all over the time the same questions again and again and again. And Gartner actually estimates that this is a 165 billion loss or costs that organizations actually have because of IT support tickets. So that has a huge impact on budgets, that's a huge impact on the workload, and also on how satisfied employees actually are, because there is nothing more frustrating than waiting for 3 days, for 5 days to get an answer to actually a simple question. Now, this is actually a real calculation of a customer of ours, a large bank in the US. They have 1.2 million of IT support tickets every single year. And the average IT support agent answers roughly a little bit more than 5,000 tickets a year. If you calculate the costs, then it's probably somewhere around $8 per ticket per ticket solved within the organization. And if you think about it, 420,000 of those tickets, that's the number from the customer, are actually repeatable or standard answers or standard questions. You pay so much money for stuff that is actually already solved, but people just don't find it. That's not just the case when you look at IT support tickets. We have a huge problem within every large organization, not just large organizations, but the bigger the company, the more severe it gets. 80% of the knowledge of a company is actually not really written down. It's inside the heads of people. Or if it's written down, it's very hard to find. If you find it, it's really hard to see, is it still valid? Is it outdated? Can I use it in the new context? Can I still apply what's inside that document to the new situation? We have heard many times now how quickly the world has changed. Is the information still applicable? So for a lot of questions you just don't know. And I think that's the most frightening number on that slide, the 3 hours that comes from Gartner from 2019. I think it must have been, or it's bigger now. The average knowledge worker spends 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day searching and consolidating information to do their job. That's a third of the day on a search engine, on a internal wiki, on a ticketing system, and so on. 3 hours a day. And only 56% of the attempts are actually successful. So almost every second attempt fails. And if we think about the inefficiency in these systems, in these environments, even though we know the knowledge is there, we just can't find it. And then what we often do when it comes to IT questions, we just open up a ticket and create the next standard repeatable question. And if you look at the bigger picture again, this problem of inaccessible knowledge gets bigger as we speak. I'm pretty sure most of you know all the different logos up here, and most of you have used a bunch of them in your daily lives. And in all of these systems, we store information. We have information that could potentially solve many of our problems, but we can't find it. We don't know if it's still valid or not. And Accenture actually brought out a study and said that they estimate 70 to 90% of all the data within organizations to be rot, redundant, outdated, or trivial. So we have a huge amount of data within the organization that we can't really use, we can't rely on, but still that's the way how we believe we have to solve our problems. So self-resolution, enabling employees to solve the problems on their own is not a new idea. So we have wikis and forums and so on for ages, but we believe that now with AI that can learn autonomously who knows what about what, who is currently dealing with a topic more often than anyone else, we can simplify the way we get access to that knowledge tremendously. So what we actually do at Starmind is we have built a technology that constantly learns who at the moment in time within the organization deals with a topic more than anyone else. And to the techies among us, it's very close to how the PageRank algorithm works. It's really about looking relatively seen to the rest of the organization. Where is the closest link to a certain topic, to a cluster of topics, and to figure out who is probably willing and able to answer a question. And we do that organizations specific, and that's very important to understand. We have to understand the language of the organization because all of you speak a different language, not in terms of English, German, and so on, but you use different abbreviations, project names. We see in every organization there is some kind of slang. If the AI doesn't understand that, we cannot really find the right person to talk to. And that's where we are really focusing on trying to find the right person for any single topic within the organization. What we do with that, we really focus on the 80%, the stuff that is mostly inside the heads of people. And we were able to prove that we can reduce search time by 75% in the organizations that use Starmind. And instead of the 56% resolution rate that you have when you go in your internal search engine, into the tickets and so on a wiki, we have a 95% resolution rate on Starmind. So 95% of all the questions being asked on Starmind, find the right person within the organization that is able and willing to answer the question. Just 30 seconds on how we do that. That would could also kind of fill the whole day. Every organization we work with has so much data within their premises, within their environment, that are actually created, laying around, used exactly once. Not confidential, but no one does really look at it for a second time. And that's where we specialized in. So we see ourselves like the company recycling what's already there. To make a very simple example, everything that is written in a public channel on Teams, on a public channel in Teams. Every one of you could go there, reread, oh, okay, Stefan has written about a certain topic, so he probably is dealing with that topic at the moment, but no one can do it with millions of messages in dozens of different Teams channels. We can do that. Everyone who has or every company has an open calendar policy. I could go look at Mike's calendar and see, okay, he's currently meeting with someone and the topic is that. I could draw the conclusion that he's probably involved in that topic at the moment. If you do that with 33,000 employees, you suddenly get an insight into the knowledge of the organization that is uncomparable to before. That's what we do. And how we can measure the success. Now coming back to the IT tickets again. Swiss Re, for example, has reduced 12% of their internal tickets with Starmind, and that's a huge amount. So if you think about, especially in Switzerland, when you pay for a ticket, maybe 30, 35 Swiss francs to get it solved, to get that down by 12% is a huge saving. And that's just one part of where you can really leverage the knowledge within the organization that is already there, reduce the frustration, and through the AI, actually make the human intelligence accessible by everyone within the organization. Thank you very much.